Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
It's the Numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. All of that with your very being. There's nothing wrong to work on you. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with working on you. The mental, the spiritual, and the physical. And it might just be spiritual first, and then the mental, and then the physical. But come see, come saw. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa, whatever. Okay? Mental, spiritual, and physical. Now, in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, on page 52, I talk about something that was written in Psychology Today. Psychology Today by Eric R. Masel, PhD. And he offers 10 tips for emotional healing from his perspective. It's on my it's in my book on Numerovation for mental stability. And he says, and first I want to quote a great teacher and pastor named A.R. Bernard from Brooklyn CCC, the Christian Cultural Center. And he says, we must learn to manage our weaknesses and strengthen our strengths. We must learn to manage our weaknesses and strengthen our strength. You can get all my books on Amazon. You can get it through my link tree. It takes you straight to all my books, all 4 of my books. And I got another one coming out probably towards the end of the year, going into my birthday. But in this book, I put Psychology Today's reports, or 10 tips for emotional healing from Mr. Eric R. Masel's perspective, PhD doctor doing his thing. All right. The emotional healing tips are: be yourself. First one. Invent yourself. Second. Love and be loved. Third. Get a grip on your mind. Fourth. Forget the past. Fifth. Flip the anxiety switch off. 6. Make meaning. 7. Let meaning trump mood. 8. Upgrade your personality. 9. And then 10. Deal with circumstances. That is the 10 tips that Psychology Today offers. And you know, it's an old report and things keep on developing. Once you understand it keeps on developing, it's all right. Note, I personally, and then I put a note under that because I said, note, I personally take issue with the 5th tip, forget the past, that was offered. I would say learn from the past and use it to adjust for the future. Learn from your past, the traumas and dramas, but use it to adjust. You won't forget. That's why Jewish people have been so successful in understanding and realizing that they can never forget, but they have learned to use what they have never forget to manipulate and to turn it and make it better for themselves. That's why they can be known as one of the most successful groups of people in this day and time. Don't forget. So that I take issue with that, and that's his perspective, and that's cool. I respect that. I respect it. But you never forget your past. They've been wanting us to forget our past, and not just the slavery, but they want us to forget our past of who we are and how great our family and our people was, and how, you know, that they did not enslave slaves. They enslaved producers of civilization. They enslaved doctors, lawyers, great plumbers, great teachers. They enslaved great builders. That's what they enslaved and put us under chattel slavery. At those who went through it. A lot of us didn't go through it. Let's be clear. There's a lot of proof that a lot of us didn't go through it. But I go on to say, below is my numerovational guidance, meaning, and perspective of the previous 10 tips. Be yourself. In order to be yourself, you have to know yourself and your worth. Study your family's history and bloodline. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror and ask yourself who you are and why you are. Your inner self will always reveal itself if you listen carefully and if you really want to know. It's in my book. Starting with that. And because it's 10 different numerovational guidance and meanings, every day of the week, you can use each one. And when you get to 10, then you come back around and remind yourself, because that 10 is a recycling, a remembering, a re-understanding. And sometimes you have to be able to spiral yourself up, and each one of those meanings and each one of these numerovational guidance meanings is going to continue to help you spiral up to understand your mental, spiritual, and physical cultivation of who you are. And numerovation, astrology, numerology, cardology, and all the different modalities, even if you're in a spiritual system or a religious system, can help you to cultivate who you are mentally, spiritually, and physically. Now, the second one, invent yourself. In order to invent yourself, you have to look within the great design called the mind and bring your childlike imagination back to the forefront. Les Brown used to say, think like a child, but work like an adult. As children, we had no fear, but we had a vast imagination that enabled us to invent imaginary characters and bring them to life in our own world. We all have to learn to tap into those moments in order to invent and reinvent our greater self. Think about that. Reinvent or invent our greater self by going back to the imaginative, childlike attitude and fearless attitude that we had as children. Think about it. It's all right to do that. It's all right to do the little quirky and funny things that we had. You know what I'm saying? So the third one is love and be love. The first love is always self. Once we truly love ourselves, then we can invite others into our love and learn how to receive love holistically, but inner love must be fully established first. The inner love. Once we've learned the word love, because we didn't know what love and hate was when we were children, we felt if somebody was loving us through what they've done or how they embraced us or if their energy connected with it. And we felt when somebody hated us or was disagreeable to us, and because you felt the energy. So then we put words to it. The words came to it after. Now we learned love and hate and like and dislike and disagreeable and all. We learned all this. It's all learned. We don't even know what the original words for it is beyond this earth. You know what I'm saying? All we know that everything has its energy. Love consists of an energy. But you must establish self-love in order for you to invite others into your love. The fourth one, get a grip on your mind. Get a grip on your mind. It's all in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. It's all part of finding some type of stability in us. Holding on to your mental faculties is a very important process, and protecting your mind is very imperative in this society. Two ways to get a grip is through meditation and positive visualization methods. There are other ways to do it, and I mentioned them in phase 0 of this book, but know and believe it will take some work on your part. Whatever you do, you have to work on it. This is not microwave. You ain't gonna push a button and it's gonna happen automatically. Life and what we go through are processes. And if you're willing to stay on the higher vibratory level of the processes, then you can get a grip on your mind and mold it with the spiritual understanding and then bring it to physical fruition. If I'm making sense, please put the number 1 in the chat. If I'm making sense, put the number 1 in the chat. If I'm making sense, put number 1 in the chat. And this is all in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. Making sense, because I'm all about working the work. And sometimes the work sometimes the work you need to take a rest. Sometimes you need to meditate. Sometimes you need to remind yourself and ask some family members or ask one of your good cousins that remember you, or your older cousins that remember what you used to do and how you. Sometimes you got to go back to get a grip on your mind. You have to go back in time to get a grip on your mind. Sometimes you got to go back in time to get a grip on your mind. Sometimes. Now, the fifth one is forget the past. Like I said previously, I'm written this in my book, we learn from the past and use it to adjust for the future. Certain cultures will never forget the past because it was a very traumatic time in their lives and in the lives of those people. So it is important that we don't forget, but allow our traumatic past to be a learning experience so we do not go down the same road again. Forgive, not forget. Let go with no regrets. Grow without limits. Then continue to live and develop a better future for you, your family, and the community. This is in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. You can get it through Amazon, or you can go straight to my IG and it takes you straight to the link below. Make sure you go and get, I got 4 books on my IG. So that was the fifth one, forget the past. But again, no, forgive, not forget, let go with no regrets, and grow without limits. Then continue to live and develop a better future for you, your family, and the community. The number 6, flip the anxiety switch off. Flip the anxiety switch off. That may be more easily said than done for most people. However, it can be done if an individual is willing to work on themselves and calm their nerves through various relaxing and meditative methods. It can be accomplished with self-love, self-patience, and constant work to reverse anxiety that may have developed over the years. It does take work, fam. And like I said in my book, self-love and self-patience is very important. It's going to take that, and it's all right that it takes that. You ain't rushing, but we do recognize that as we came through our mother and father, and we may have came through with some of their anxieties and some of their traumas, but once we recognize it, we can reverse the effects of it holistically. Some people have settled for labels and drugs and all that. I mean, I know people, I knew back in my past about, my grandmother might have had arthritis, and she would settle for the pills and agreed that this pill was helping with her arthritis pain. When she came here, she should have reversed it through dietary plans and dietary moves, because you can reverse a lot of stuff from the early parts in your life. And you also have holistic methods to also relieve and reverse arthritis. There's a holistic method. Instead of taking the auto, and sometimes you got to take the pills because that is the automatic stopping of the pain. You have to stop the pain, and the pain has to go because the pains can be so excruciating. So sometimes you got to take your Tylenol, but still work on the holistic way. You got to take your ibuprofen, but you still got to work on the holistic. But if you're taking those pills, be willing to detox the chemicals outside of those pills by using holistic methods. Detox. And then go look for the holistic ways to alleviate the pain of arthritis and those things. Because if I go to a hospital and I got shot, I'm going to need painkillers. Let's be real. Or break my bone, I'm going to need painkillers. You're going to need pain. I just had dental work in this new year, my new year cycle. I just had dental work. I had to take ibuprofen and take these things, amoxicillin, I couldn't wait and take some herbal, try to take clove and all that. Clove Clove oil don't work for too long. Tea tree oil don't work for too long. You'll have to keep on getting up as soon as the pain come back in and take it again and go back and take it again. Every time. Look, do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do, especially when you're going through excruciating pain. Sometimes those allopathic medicines are necessary so you can get back on track to do what you have to do holistically. That's it. Somebody said, no, that's fact. I know that's a fact. I've been through it. So again, we just finished 6. Self-love, self-patience is very important in my book. And number 7, make meaning. Make meaning. Make unconditional love for self and others the meaning. And once we develop that love frequency, because everything is a frequency. Everything is a frequency. I like what Star from Star Report is putting out there now. He's putting out a lot of more thought-provoking, drama-free conversations on his YouTube channel, Star Report. And he spoke about, is God a frequency? Because he doesn't, and I understand, I don't believe in the theory of God either, because it's a theory. Personally, I don't believe in the theory of God. I believe there's an energetic energy force and an intelligent force that resides within us, and that's all outside. But is God is God a frequency? That's what Star said. And like I said here, make meaning, make unconditional love for self and others the meaning. And once we develop that love frequency, because if you put the numbers to love or put the numbers to God or put the numbers to any of your name, now you see the mathematical frequency of that number or that name that you call yourself or you use a handle by. Whatever handle you're using, it has a mathematical frequency of higher levels or lower levels. Some of us can choose names that can either lessen our strength or strengthen our strength. Lessen our strength or strengthen our strength. Because there is a ultimate frequency that has been proven that resides in the universe. A particular humming sound. And yes, that's part of the energy, and energy and frequency does work in tandem together. But there is a frequency that even Dr. Blair taught us how to tap into. Like right now, because I've been practicing that frequency recognition for so long, I can hear my frequency, my personal frequency, while I'm talking to you, while I'm listening to a television show, while I'm listening to a radio show. I can still always hear even if you, and when I shut off all the noise, even when I'm into nature, I still hear my own frequency, because everybody was created on a frequency. That's a frequency. That's what I'm talking about. That's a frequency. And sometimes it's high pitch, sometimes it's real faint, sometimes it's real loud. Each bug, each thing is created because it has to be a frequency and then the energy, because energy is all a part of that movement. What gives that bug energy is that movement, that spirit energy. That's what spirit is energy. So the tuning into the frequency that produced the energy to make you move, every animal, every insect, every tree has it. Every one of them has it. Every table, every marker has that frequency of creation that brought it to this lifetime. This was created. It has its frequency. This was created. It has a frequency. I was created. I have a frequency. You was created. You have a frequency. Develop that love frequency of who you are. And the growth will truly begin within and outside of us all. Number 8, I got 8, 9, and 10 to finish off before I get off, because I got sessions to do. 8, let meaning trump mood. Let meaning trump mood. Let meaning trump mood. Like it was previously said in number 7, make meaning unconditional love on all levels will be the inevitable winner over all mood issues, especially when supported by those that love us and the willpower to overcome. You have to have the willpower to overcome. Somebody asked about which book you should get. You can get all my books, but I'm definitely telling people to get this. This is my latest book, and even if you get all my books, you'll see the development of where I've been going, because all my books are subject matter books. All my books are subject matter books. It takes you straight to the point. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important. Numbers are numerovation for mental stability. I stay right there in the subject all through it. I don't pussyfoot, I don't dilly-dally. That's why they're not a bunch of thick books. They're really the thickest book I got. That's my book. The thickest book in my arsenal is this book. This is the thickest book. This has 200 and some odd pages. This has 200 pages. It's the thickest book that I have, and that's my book. No promotion is bad promotion. All publicity is good publicity. Just spell my name right. That's the thickest book I have in my catalog. Am I going to write a thick book? Yes, I'm going to write probably a 300-page book. That's probably going to be my autobiography, but that's it. So, again, number 8, the important part of that number 8 segment, let meaning trump the mood. Remember, willpower will help overcome, and those that are around you will help support and love you. Those that are around you. Unconditional love is the way and one of the modalities of development on all levels. Number 9, upgrade your personality. Upgrade your personality. Upgrade your personality. This means an internal and external makeover that entails breaking habits that have developed over years. It is not an easy road to healing from pain and hurt. Let me say that again. It's not an easy road to healing from pain and hurt, but it is a road worth traveling if you truly have love for self and those around you, especially if there are children involved. It's not an easy road. It's not an easy road. It's a rough road. But if you really love you, the road is worth the travel if you really love yourself and love those that you might affect around you. It's not an easy road. Believe me, it hasn't been an easy road for your brother that smiles a lot, that loves to smile. I love my teeth. I love to smile. It hasn't been an easy road. And I know for most of you out there, it hasn't been an easy road for you. And it's all right. It's all right. 10, last but not least in my book. Deal with circumstances. Due to the cards that have been dealt, many of us have gone through various mental issues and had to learn to assess problems and deal with them head on. Some of us had to do it by ourselves, which can be very harmful without proper guidance and therapy. Yes, we should deal with circumstances as they come, but find a holistic support team that can better assist you while you are going through it. In the back of this book, I've shared some great health, wellness, and metaphysical websites that can be of some assistance. You don't have to do it alone. 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 And even if you feel you're alone, you're never alone. Even if you feel when you're sitting, even when you're amongst your people, amongst you, as many years, I thought I was all alone in what I was doing in my world. But then I realized, if I'm talking to myself and answering myself, who the hell am I talking to? What is the energy or the spirit or the frequency that I'm talking to? That will give you the positive and the negatives. Sometimes your own inner chat give you negative, and then a positive one will come in. Or they'll give you the positive first, and then the negative one will come. Who is that? Look, when you get a chance, this is my love letter. This is my love letter to myself. It's easy, and somebody says higher self. It's easier to say your higher self, but there's a lower self inside of you too. But who is that? Is it in your bloodline? Is it in your DNA? Are there some ancestral energy that's still looming in your DNA that had a high vibration and a low vibration? It's easy to say higher self. That's the language of today. The higher self, the lower self, the shadow side, the higher side. That's the language of today. That's language today. That's words today. But there is a frequency or something that we have taken on from our bloodline that's still. And people like lower self is ego. No, ego has duality. See, people keep on thinking that ego is one way. There's a high level of ego and there's a low level of ego. If everything has duality, ego has duality. Where I like to say, if you're going down the low side, then you're etching God out. If you're going up the high side, then you're enhancing God's originality. There's a high and a low to everything. There's a dog and a God to everything. That's why the word is the same word, just spelled backward. Dog and God is the same word. Just be real. Dog and God is the same word. It's the same word, just spelled backward. It's the lower nature of man, the higher nature of man, God, and the lower nature of man, dog. Exactly. Balance. So don't always look at ego as negative, because it's your ego that told you to come on here and listen to your brother. Your ego, your higher form of ego told you. There's many people that don't listen to me and don't even care to listen to me. It comes on and they might just click right off. But it's your higher level of ego that know and connect with me and say, I know he's going to give me something numerovationally positive today. That's the positive side of ego. Now, if I was coming with the drama and talking about Reza or talking about Cardi B and Tasha K and all the bull crap, that's the lesser side. You want to hear the drama. You want to hear the low energy. Okay, that's the lesser side of ego. But it's ego that makes you get up every morning. It's that first ego that makes you want to go brush your teeth, wash your face, wash your ass so you can go out before people. That is the positive side of ego. There is positive and negative. Man, it's a beautiful thing, family. I got to get ready to get on out of here. But you got to. And if you don't buy my books, like I said, if you buy my books, in back of all my books, I have a bibliography. I have recommended reading. It's all right. Go and study. And use your intuition while you're Googling also. Use your intuition while you're Googling. Because remember, your intuition is strong, and your intuition will lead you to the books that you need to read. All these books and stuff that I have here was led to me to read or just have in my archive. Did I read all of these books? No. I may have read a paragraph, I may have read this, just to get what I need. Because Bobby Hemmett taught us years ago that sometimes you'll buy a book just to read the sentence, or you just needed to read that paragraph, or you just needed to read that chapter. And that was it. This could go to my children after that. Let them read a chapter. Maybe one of them might read the whole book. That is up to them. I'm just showing you. Bobby Hemmett taught us that. Not all books you're going to read fully. Sometimes you just needed to see that title to stimulate something. Sometimes we just needed that title just to stimulate. Like, I was in Florida and I seen this book, The Power of Positive Energy. I'm in I'm in Barnes and Nobles hanging out with Dr. MJ in Florida, probably 3 to 4 years ago. And I walked in and I love the colors on this book. This is my colors, the golden, reddish type colors. This is one of my colors, according to my numbers. According to my numbers, this is my color. So I seen this book. I seen the side of the book like this, and I said, "Whoa, what's the name of that book?" And I gravitated straight to it, and it says "The Power of Positive Energy." Let me show y'all the book. Yeah, let me show y'all the book. Y'all can go look it up if y'all want. I'm here to share, baby. I'm here to share. I'm here to share. Here it is. The Power of Positive Energy. Put it up. The Power of Positive Energy by Tanaz Chubbs, creator of Forever Consciousness. Foreverconscious.com. Very good book. Did I read through the whole book? No. I read what I needed to read. Sometimes I'll look through a chapter, all the chapters, and I say, "Oh, let me tap into that today." Or I'll go to my numbers. Since I'm born on the first chapter, the 10th chapter, the 19th chapter, or the 28th chapter will be something significant that I should read. See, that's how you can use your numbers also. Or if my power numbers is 1, 4, and 9, then I could go to the first chapter, the 4th chapter, or the 9th chapter. See, remember, in my sessions, I give you your power numbers, the numbers that you are. I don't call them lucky numbers because unlucky things can happen under any number because everything has duality. But I give you the most significant numbers that pertain it to you. And then you could use it in any way you want, even looking through chapters in the book, even looking at the year that the book was written. That might be your book. Like, for instance, this is the first time I'm looking at it, right? I got this book. And it's written in 2017. 2 plus 1 plus 7 equals what? 2 plus 1 plus 7 equals what? Equals 10. I'm born on the 1st. 1 plus 0 equals 1. 10 is one of my power numbers. This is the first time I'm looking at the date of the book when it was written. So it was definitely belonged to me to buy this book. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. How you use your numbers on and be willing to expand beyond the limitation of other people. When people take my class, I don't want you to follow my limitation. I want you to follow my guidance when I say, do not limit yourself with the numbers. Follow the basis of it, but do not limit yourself. Because numbers have no limits. Numbers is infinite. Has no limits. Like I always say, you can be counting. I could count from the day I was born until the day I die. Go into the spirit realm, still counting, in the quantum world, still counting, come back through a womb in my family or relative again, still be counting, and numbers will still be here. Counting. Mathematics. Mathematics is life, and life is mathematics, baby. Big up to High Heels, Sister Golda, that reached out to me, says she wants to study with me. She wants to be a Numerovator. So, hey, people who want to be a Numerovator, you can take my courses. I have an 8-hour course. I don't do one-on-one classes because at the end of the day, I want you to be able to expand from your perspective. But you can become a Numerovator, and Numerovation means motivating people with their numbers and using whatever other modalities and life experiences to add to your Numerovation. That's all I'm doing. That's all I created that word for, so people can be numerovated, or people can use numerovation. Numbers, numerovation, from motivation, numerovation. That's all the word. So when you Google that word up, numerovation, you see my face pop up. Hey, you might even see this picture. You'll see this picture pop up. In back of all my books, I have my pictures. And you're going to see that picture pop up. All right? So, my family, remember, on the 17th, I'll be interviewing Adara Moselle. Can practicing Tantra help our relationships? Can practicing Tantra help our relationships? That's the 17th. On the 21st, I'll be interviewing Kerry Ann Ingram, Reiki practitioner, master from out of Toronto, Canada. I'll be interviewing her. On the 24th, I'll be interviewing Donnie Arcade. Donnie Arcade got a new children's book out. Big up to him. A new children's book. I just got it in the mail. Donnie Arcade got a new adult children's book, adult coloring book, actually. It's a lyrical adult coloring book. I mean, Donnie Arcade, look at his art. Look at his artwork, man. Look at what he's doing. Look at what Donnie Arcade is doing, family. Donnie Arcade, I just got his book. It's a coloring book, adult coloring book and children's coloring book. Donnie Arcade, my brother. His name is right there, Donnie Arcade. I have him coming on May the 24th and at 7 o'clock. And then later on that evening, I have Conjure Queen coming in on May 24th at 9 o'clock. I got Donnie Arcade from 7 to 8. I got Conjure Queen from 9 to 10. Conjure Queen. And then on the 31st of May, I have Sonia Barrett. Sonia Barrett is a neuroscientist and a metaphysics teacher that was right there with us back in the LIU days. Brother Shabazz brought her back to that. The Eye Opener Productions brought her to LIU, and I can't wait to have her on. She's born in Jamaica, I believe, but she's been living here in America with her husband and all that, doing her thing. And I put her right there with Jewel Pukram. Beautiful locks, beautiful chocolate, beautiful sister. Can't wait to have her. She's one of the elders in this, so I can't wait to have her on. It took me a while to get her, but I got her. And that's happening May the 31st. You know I'm going to share it with Brother Rich, because Brother Rich remember, and I want Brother Rich to bring on the show. Usually we do that with each other. We initiate people, because I'm the initiator. According to my cards, I'm born under the Jack of Spades. I'm an initiator. I initiate people, you know what I'm saying, into what they're supposed to do and what they're supposed to become, you know, and take it to the next level. I helped get Wayne Chandler on Brother Rich's show, you know, help get Dr. Shakira on Brother Rich's show. Dr. MJ on Brother Richard, so initiate people into that realm. Those that I know and that I'm familiar with and that's done the work. So I have all that coming up. Phil Valentine in June, Unc Rising and Sun in June. I got coming up also. Copper Vibration is going to be coming up. Matter of fact, I got to text them. So family, I love and respect y'all. Y'all be safe. Y'all be strong. Y'all be focused. Take care of yourself. And remember, be mentally, spiritually, and physically cultivating. And you could use numerology, you could use cardology, you could use astrology, you could use any spiritual system, as long as it's keeping you positive, you know, as long as it's keeping you positive. I live in Georgia now, but I am coming out to Brooklyn. I'm going to be doing stuff. Wonderful Wizard of Raw. I should be there with Tarsili and them. June 2nd. Remember, KT is coming to Brooklyn. Mr. G got a new spot. I'm going to be interviewing Mr. G. He has a new spot in Brooklyn, so we definitely going to be doing something with Mr. G. I'm going to be doing something at his place in Brooklyn. So look out for that coming in Brooklyn. And at Nicholas, I got to still support Nicholas. Nicholas is my girl. Those are my peoples. Got to support Nicholas always. And have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be great, be strong, be focused, and stay numerovated, family. All right? Peace and love. Take care.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
It's the Numerovation session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
Important to release past trauma, especially if it runs in your family. I had the opportunity the other day just to talk to my father, and he was telling me about past trauma between him and my mother, and tears welded up in my eyes, and come to realize that, these people have gone through their own stuff. Do not claim their own stuff. What they went through is not what I'm going through. But be willing to cleanse and remove and let go of not just your traumas that you feel you've gotten from your mother and father, but generational trauma that has been passed down from generation to generation. Let go and let God. When things go wrong, don't go with it.